way. Following the footsteps of his work on the classic Anime Manga series, Akihara created a 2-volume manga story, which was loosely based on the first Rockman X game. Similar to his previous Rockman work, his X manga carried a cuter, almost Astro Boyish style to it, though it managed to retain a strong resemblance to the promotional art produced by Capcom's artist. Rather than follow the story of the Rebel Rebellion everyone knows and loves, the story that had Sigma instructing X and Zero to investigate the other hunters who had seemed to go maverick, a less permanent tradition here. Along the way, X seemed to power up with his armor's enhancements, though they didn't come from capsules here. Instead, they seemed to draw from some sort of inner strength exhibited by X. In the end, even Sigma himself turned as another original Hunter character, sacrificed himself to save the day rather than Zero. In all, it was quite a different take on the original game's plot. Akihara would also produce a short manga story for one of the Rockman X guidebooks, which was based on the 3rd game of the series. Interestingly enough, the hunters lacked a Sigma of their own at the time, so Akihara would use other symbols. In the X1 manga, they gathered under Sigma's familiar emblem, while X3 saw Zero's Z symbol represent the hunters. Another manga creator to make the jump from classic to X was Hitoshi Ariga, who produced a single story in Rockman Remix based on Bandai's Rockman Mega Mission storyline. Though the card series itself has spanned several installments, only one manga story was produced by Ariga, which would be his only such contribution to the X mythology.
Finally, perhaps the most well-known Rockman X manga comes from Yoshihiro Iwamoto. His body of work spanned the first 4 titles in the series, which, as one will recall, was all Capcom made before the hiatus preceding X5. He dedicated 3 volumes to the first 2 games, which followed the action in the games fairly closely while expanding on the personalities and motivations of the different Maverick bosses, giving them character we would not know they had until years later. Rockman X3 ran a bit longer with 4 volumes, with several chapters of the last one focusing on Zero as an interlude between the 3rd and 4th games. X was missing after his battle with Kaiser Sigma, and a new fighting force stepped up to stand against the Maverick threat, the Raptor Force. Oh, and we learned that Zero's Buster was simply busted, leading to his greater reliance on the Z-Saber. Rockman X4 provided an unfortunate end to the series of manga stories. While it had reportedly gone on to conclude properly within the pages of the weekly Bomb Bomb Comics magazine, a 3rd Tankobon collection was never produced, thus leaving many fans on a cliffhanger, wondering what would become of an X seemingly possessed by the sheer power afforded by the ultimate armor. Years later, after X5 finally came from Capcom, an artist named Hup Lee produced a unique take on X5 that did not follow the story set forth by Iwamoto. And,
we don't know much about this one, really. It's in Chinese.
And it has some savage tribes of humans that get caught up in the whole X5 story, and, yeah. I don't know if you can expect Devon to do that one, but...
X has a 6-pack in it.
That's all Okay, so that takes us into the only animation that was really made for X, which was the Day of Sigma.
We're not counting with the spirits or process.
Mega Man X came from this crossover with the original Mega Man in the Ruby Spears animated series. I think you all remember that episode, as well as Japanese commercials and the few cutscenes scattered throughout Mega Man X3 and 4. That changed late in 2005 as Irregular Hunter X was released for the PlayStation Portable in Japan, soon to be followed by Mega Man Maverick Hunter X in North America in early 2006. In addition to the regular array of cutscenes fans had grown used to, defeating Sigma this time would unlock an original video animation called The Day of Sigma. This full-length animated episode, about 25 minutes, looked back at X and Zero in the days leading up to Sigma's first rebellion against the human race. Unfortunately, the game didn't do as well as Capcom had hoped on a platform no one at the time had any interest in owning. And so, it seems that any future plans for future installments in the series had been laid to the wayside. Perhaps someday, Capcom will find a means of delivering the game to an audience who actually wants it, and we'll see a revival. One with more OVA episodes, hopefully.
Start spamming Capcom.
Just a quick question. If they released Maverick Hunter X on Xbox Live Arcade or PlayStation Network for the PlayStation 3, would it be?
That's about the most of it.
Thank you. Listening, Capcom?
Okay, now it's the turn for the Rockman Zero or Mega Man Zero manga. And of course, grim and gritty, the world of Mega Man Zero took a serious look at the continuing conflict between humans and reploids and the resulting vicious cycle of cruelty. So, naturally, the manga is a non-stop parade of slapstick idiocy. In the 3 volumes of Hideo Kojima's manga, he takes a unique outlook on the Zero series. Events that occurred in the games exist in the manga, not so much as carved in stone canon as they are polite suggestions. The off-the-wall characterizations and madcap stories can be jarring to those expecting something a bit more serious, but otherwise it's enjoyable, lighthearted, just don't think about it wrong.
Zero's like Yu-Gi-Oh!
He vomits cyber out. Alrighty, and now the Rockman CX or Mega Man CX manga. Yes! To accompany the release of Mega Man ZX, 2 volumes of manga were produced. Created by Shin Ojino, the story follows the adventures of Vent as he battles Slither Inc. The manga story follows that of the game very closely, and the series frequently pokes fun at its digital roots with video game-inspired sight gags, such as showing actual health bars during boss fights and references to other Mega Man series. While an actual tankobon was never produced for ZX Advent, 8 individual issues were released in the Japanese magazine called Famitsu Wii Plus DS. And this series was also drawn by Ojino and is best known for Model A's rather licentious tendencies.
Sorry, the thing is blinding me. Okay, now we move on to the Legend Burns. The Rockman Dash / Mega Man Legends. Remember, we want that Legends 3. That's what it was. There we go. Okay. There was a short 4-comic panel manga that included art by various artists and related mostly to Dash and Legends 2. Actually, there's only 1 volume for Dash 1, but we couldn't find any scans of it at all. As usual, Legends got the short end of the stick pretty much on anything.
Poor Legends. That's
I know, that's the spirit.
Okay, so that brings us right into Battle Network / GXC.